So I have to give you credit, Mark. I have to give you credit. You got me. You got me good. So, uh, as you can see, we're missing Chase today. Chase, we love you. Chase has been dealing with medical stuff off and on, probably past couple years, and he's just not able to sit up with us today. But shout out to Chase. Chase will drink for you over here. Um, so after I get word that he's not going to be able to join us, Mark over here and he's trolling me. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, uh, I'm not going to make." Or he never said he wasn't going to make it, but he said a bunch of words that would very like. I mean, he got me. He was just like, "Hey, so and so asked me to come out. Like, I got to do something." Like, I'm like, "Motherfucker, you're not coming, are you?" Doesn't say anything. This fucking guy. I mean, I started messaging Caleb. I'm like, Caleb, we're gonna have to give this guy shit. It's gonna be a surprise. I can't tell you why he's not gonna come because you're gonna think it's hilarious. Sure enough, I start up the call and fucking Mark is right there. He's like, "You really thought I was gonna go? Fuck that." Anyways, we're the on the wrong lead team. We're gonna get back to our Bankroll building in Bourbon here. On our far left, we have the good-looking member of the quadruple here, Caleb. In the middle, of course, we got our boy Mark. Mark, the newly anointed whiskey god, apparently, because he lives by a store that tends to get a bunch of nonsense. And I'm Josh, Cherry Drink. Thank you guys for joining us. Dennis is here. We can actually start. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, we're taking a look at Turfway Park. Taking a look at races 4 through 8 here. In typical fashion, I nailed race 1 and probably not going to hit a bet the rest of the day. But
yeah, I think we are both all over a price in the last, right? Did you had some of that 12, Josh, or were you just watching?
no, I had none of the 12. I was all over the 10.
Oh,
No, I was all over
okay.
the 10. I was over the 10 and the 9, and then you're like, "Yeah, I like the 9, 10, and 12," and of course, fucking 12 wins.
At a
Um,
price.
yeah, in that first race, I thought I saw Lone Speed, and so I had what was that, the 9? So I hit that with the exacta. So worst case, unless I do more damage after the stream, I think it's actually possible for me to be down today, so that's good. All right, so we got 11 minutes here to race 4. I know, Pack. I know you're over there furiously trying to put in like 9 pick 3 tickets or some nonsense.
So it's only 7, but yeah, and
7.
I'm still moving stuff around, so I haven't even started firing it in. I'll have it up in the Midwest channel here shortly.
Yeah, I'm polishing off a few tickets as well.
I know we were kind of late with our blog post. If you guys are follow us on Twitter or in the Discord, and I try and post up like a recap of our thinking, like on our plays, and just to give you an idea of how we're kind of trying to structure things. What our thinking is when we're making plays. And the one thing I noticed is the plays I've been making on stream versus the plays I normally make they don't really match up very well. So I'm gonna try my best to actually handicap like I normally do and make plays like I normally do. And that means I'm a very big odds watcher. I'm a very big bias player. Very big on pace. So I took a quick peek at some of these races, but for the most part, I kind of try and let the tote board and the previous races kind of lead me a little bit on what I'm going to do here. So I'm still kind of taking a look at this race up with things. Looks like Mark's probably the one that's furthest ahead since he's punching tickets over there.
Yeah, I mean, scooting along. I actually don't like this race, but I love the next three. So I'm gonna try to use this race to leverage my opinions in the next one and next two even. Um, so I'm playing a couple pick threes here. How much time do we have until post? Actually,
9
8
minutes.
minutes. Okay. So I'm playing a few pick threes here. Um, Mostly, I'm going to be using the 8 and 9 in this first race. Like I said, it's not a race I really have strong feelings about. Um, but I think the 8 and 9 are the two horses I like the best. The price on the 9 is just absurd right now. I mean, from a 4-1 morning line up to a 20-1 right now live. I mean,
that board price is absolutely stupid right now, and
that's just ridiculous.
that's why I moved some stuff around. I moved that horse up on the value act.
Yeah, so I'm playing. I guess if you would call them A's, it'd be the 8 and 9. I'm actually using a price horse that I'm sure we're all going to be on in the next race, which is the 11, Glenwood, as my only A in race 5. I mean, I think this horse is just super sharp right now. You know, he handled the synthetic just fine last time out. He's on the upswing here. Jockey sticks. He has a good outside draw. He has speed. He doesn't need the lead. Edgar Puckar is winning 20% with this trainer. I mean, I just think there's two horses here that I like, the 11 being one, and then I do think the morning line favorite of Lanier, the 3 horse, looks pretty strong as well. But I'm going to play actually the 11 as a lone A for the most part, and just really try to throw a big shot here. And then in the 6, I can get to that one a little bit later in more detail, but I will be using the 2 as a single A in the 6th race. I get the feeling this 2 horse could be lone speed in that field, and speed was decent yesterday. So I'm going to try to play a heavy pick 3. So consider it maybe a knockout punch if this comes through. Based on the double probables, they're pretty huge, the 11 next race. And I have a $5 base bet pick 3 running through. And then I played 1B combinations. So ABA, BAA, and AAB with, for $2 base bets for a little bit less. So I think I'm in for probably, $30, $35. So we'll see where we go.
Caleb, did you look who is running in the next race?
In the next race?
Race 5. There's a name.
Is it caloric?
It's caloric. Oh,
Caloric?
Where is Chase? Where is
saw
Chase?
that.
Oh,
I actually
my
circled
God.
the horse, and I'm like, I got to use this horse for Chase. And then I looked at the rest of the horses, and I'm like, this horse kind of sucks.
Oh, my God. For you guys who don't know, Chase had kept this database essentially that would notify him of horses that are coming out of key races and essentially bet backs, almost like a virtual stable kind of thing, except it was fully automated. So anyways, this horse would always flash up on his radar, and I think there were just a couple times. I think that might have been the horse that it was caloric, and I think it was some Ravelli horse at PID. I think he's just caloric's running. I just boxed them for $5, and it came back for like 100 or something. Freaking that horse is so hilarious. I really like the 4 here. In this first race, or fourth race rather. It looks like
Josh?
The 4, Flash Me Not. I'm looking to try and play something that's going to be forwardly placed here. I do agree with you. This 9 that it should not be double digits. Paralysis is winning at 30%. 30%. If you're playing anything horizontally, you have to use them. And the fact that this horse is 4-1 is coming off an improved effort on the synthetic, and is getting a jockey upgrade. I don't know. It looks like the horse wants a sprint. They tried him at a mile on the synthetic. That didn't work. came back and huge improvement last race. And I mean, yeah, the only other horse that kind of interests me is the 4 here. Um, I wanted to use a little bit of the 5, but I feel like that might just be me being way too wishful. But yeah, I definitely think that the 4 is probably my top play here, but that 9 is at just an absurd price, and it looks like the Discord whales might have caught on because that's going down a little bit.
He was 20 to 1 when we started talking. He's now 12 to 1, and there's still 3 minutes to post. So
Yeah, he'll probably be down like 5 or 6.
probably. I still think he's value at that price. 20 to 1 was just silly. But I agree with your 4. That's my only B horse in this field. I mean, I know why you're playing the horse. I mean, he looks good on, optics. He looks, he has a lot of speed. I just thought this race was pretty, it looks like it sets up pretty hot. I thought the 5 might be a touch quicker than the 4 out of the gates, and I'm not really sure how well that one's going to be able to rate with all the pace pressure outside. So I tried to look for horses that were actually going to be more in that second flight, like the 8 and the 9, I figured. But the 4 is the one of the speed horses that I would probably take if I was going to use one. So I do have him as my only B in this race here.
Shout, dude! Do you guys see some of these jocks that are here? I just noticed that. I mean, Palcar's here, but you guys see that Eric Barbrand's here? Like Mountaineer Midwest over here.
That's right. They actually do have the 4 Go Stakes tonight, which is like a $75,000 sprint that's kind of just okay, but it might have attracted a little bit of extra talent.
Oh, I mean, for this kind of level and this kind of place, that's drew in some real good talent when you consider it's only a $75,000 stakes. I mean, yeah, it's a listed stakes. It's not not the best level of competition, but for for this track, it's some legit horses.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably ended up pretty similar to Caleb here with a pick 3. Predominantly 3, 4, 8, 9 in this race. I went deeper than he did. I know in the next race I used the 3, 7, and the 11 as A's, and then I'm trying to get a little cute to the 8 in the third leg here in the 6th race. We'll see how that works out for me. But and I have some B's behind it as well. But again, trying to thread the needle here, get a little bit of a pricey sequence, hoping if that 11 wins and we can catch a price in this first leg and I can chalk out the third. I think the 8 will probably go off the favorite in the sixth race. It still should pay pretty nicely.
How are you weighting your plays, Mark?
All A's with $1.50. My single B's are $1, and my double B's are 50 cents.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of leverage, but I'm sure you're probably a lot more levered than I am.
Yeah, I'm trying to leverage a lot heavier because I actually have some semi-strong opinions, and I'm trying to get paid for them. If I could probably go 5 or 6 deep in the next race, looking for price horses that I think have a shot. But I'm gonna try to just stick with my top, pick or 2 here, and hopefully, get by. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'd say in the sequence, the first leg, this race was the race that I wanted to get a little deeper in. So yeah, I think we just kind of flipped legs. We're trying to, where we're trying to find some prices. I thought there were a lot of prices in this race. That there are a lot of horses in this race that were kind of pricey and were probably live. So I have most of the field.
Our boy, guy on the ground, Chase, the Wolf of Painkillers. He just threw in a. Looks like he's playing an exacta here with the 4 on top over the 6, 10, 11. He looks like the 4 is his top pick. He's got him to win, place, and show, and he also is playing him in a double with the 4, 11, 12 next race. So it looks like everyone's pretty heavy on the 4. I'm a little bit less heavy. I mean, I think I respect him, but I went another direction on top. But that looks like the consensus on the wrong lead pick.
Yeah, I would say there. If you force me onto a horse, it's going to be the 4 in this race as well. Just on optics, what's been working,
The
that
one.
ability to have some closing speed. I do worry about the horse being hemmed inside. I think the outside might be a little better, judging by a couple of races I've seen so far.
News in
But
for alerted
yeah, I think the
stallings.
4 is probably the logical horse and should be the favorite, as the 4 is in this field.
Boarding cards
But again, at
locked
9,
away,
still
they're
at
at
9 to 1
post.
is a very nice price.
Yep, I'm on this 4
They
over
are
the 9, 10, 11.
racing.
And then I
Quick
came back
start
with the
for
9 over the
inside
4, 10,
for
11
Alma
as well.
Fuerte, also quick into stride, hard hustle. There goes.
We're off.
Tiger.
Everyone watching?
Between horses,
Yep, and I got it up on my screen.
Raise your hand if you have the forward break 7th.
So up the backside they go.
Yeah, right.
With 4.5 furlongs to go. It's Rosebud.
Well, apparently you did, Caleb, considering you faded him.
Well, I still used him as a B. I just didn't think he'd, I thought 5 would make the lead over him. Although I don't see any of my horses.
Yeah,
That's never a good feeling, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, Turfway is always so strung out that you really got to look, pretty far back.
I had this too, but this is not the horse I want.
This is going to be an expensive whiff, it seems like. I don't see any of mine. My 8's, I think, are last.
This 3 looks real loaded. Who I was an A, but Christ, if I want that dude to catch an A.
Dreams are passable, drifting way out in the
Oh,
center of
maybe
the
it's
course.
not.
I feel like it's going to be 2, 3, 9. 2's going to hold off.
Dreams are passable. Alma
Damn.
Fuerte is second. Dreams are passable is the winner. Dreams
Oh, that
are
sucks.
passable on Poly debut by almost 2. Alma Fuerte was second, then came a
I got to see, is there any way I get to that 2?
I use the 2, but the 2 is a B for me.
Yeah, I mean, I try to find ways to use horses, but this is a horse I think I just put my hands up in the air and say he beat me. He was beat 13 lengths, 16 lengths, 17 lengths, and 44 lengths in his last 5 starts. And, I mean, the trainer and jockey were solid. I guess you could get there on that.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I mean, he's only a 12% first-year trainer. So it's sort of hard to, get excited about the barn switch. And honestly, coming out of a higher percentage barn into a lower percentage barn, and they, the horse didn't really do much in the last barn. I mean, I'm there with you. The 2 is hard for me to get to, but you got there, you got.
I just can't believe the 4 broke so shitty.
I can't believe about 3 of those horses weren't involved. I mean, I expected the 9 to be more forwardly placed. I expected the 10 to be more forwardly placed. I expected the 8 to be more forwardly placed, and sort of none of them were. So, yeah, that's a bit of a head scratch.
Was the 5 anywhere near the front either?
Yeah, nope. 5 made the lead.
5 did make the lead. Okay.
Did the 5 make? Okay.
He did. Yeah, it was the 5. Then it was the 2 or the 3. I forget, but 5 was just on the front.
Yeah, that's just one that it wasn't. That's funny. Just looking at it, it's got the green plot fit and everything.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's coming from the clouds. It seems like I watched the replays of all the races yesterday, and yeah, you can make up ground through the turn, but it really seems like once you hit the top of the stretch, you're not making up more than a length or 2. And I think that's kind of the way this race played out as well. 9 put in a good run, at 10 to 1. The 9 ran the race as sort of expected, but the 8 was definitely a disappointment after running a half decent race last time off the layoff, and then just nowhere to be found. I mean, and maybe that's my own fault for going to what even is that? Is that Fresno? What is FP?
Is that Fraser?
I don't know. If I don't know where the horse is racing, I probably shouldn't have used him. I'll put it that way.
Which horse are you talking about?
The 8.
Oh, is it an FP Fairmount?
Oh, that's Fairmount. Yeah.
Fairmount? Yeah.
It's like the worst track. Baby.
It's like the worst track in America, so I should probably have been a little more skeptical of that.
Take a look at the optional claiming price. An optional claimer 4K. Normally there's a 0 attached to that.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
State bred too. And Illinois state bred races aren't what they used to be.
Wait, they used to be something?
I mean, they used to be like on par with probably like, I don't know, Oklahoma. Actually, so funny story about Illinois state bred races is Illinois state bred races I think now can include Arkansas and another state, and I forget which the other one is, because a bunch of Oak Lawn horses will ship up to Arlington because they can run in state bred races in Illinois.
Yeah, going back to that last race as well, one thing to know, I've sort of had this vibe that the inside is not as good, and you're saying, geez, 2 horse won, that doesn't help your thing, but the 2 horse was part of a co-entry, so the 2 horse was drawn outside and drew out of like the 8 or 9 hole, something like that. They